Hey, I've been reading your comments and I've been seeing that you are quite interested in my journey back into physical exercise. So today I'm going to be sharing my journey and I hope it can help you on yours because we're all very different. And I think sharing stories and hearing how people's journeys are can sometimes be beneficial to others. So let's get into it. Hi sponsor, how you doing? You still watching the series? You still enjoying it? Well, like I mentioned in my previous videos, most YouTube videos on here are sponsored by usually a company or a product, but mine is sponsored by you. And all you need to do is watch, subscribe, like, comment, any one of those things, and that will help. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being my sponsor. It means the world to me. It really does. So, thank you. Hi, friends, and welcome back to the Inside Stylist podcast. In this episode, I don't know why I say we. I treat it like you and I are friends, that's why, and that I have this person that I'm talking to, which is you. And I just kind of feel like we're just sitting down and talking, which is what I sort of want to kind of have happen. I want it to feel like you have a friend that you're talking to. So today we are going to be talking about exercising or getting back into physical activity once you are starting to heal or as you have healed over time. And something to keep in mind is it really does matter, and there's a difference between each and every one of us, and the state of your immune system, the health of your adrenal glands will make a difference in this path towards physical exercise again. And I have seen people who have many symptoms and debilitating ones just be able to bounce back and start lifting and get into strength training and have no issues. I've also seen people on this lifestyle build muscle. Men as well. I've seen people gain lots of muscles from this and lean out. So there's a various end results, even though we are all on the same sort of protocols or following the same sort of lifestyle. Now, I'm just sharing my experience just in case this is something that you are also going through. I am by no means an expert, and you may not even have the same results as I do or challenges as I do. You may recover right quickly, but mine has been quite of a long journey, and I just wanted to share in case anybody else is on it as well. So just to give you a little backstory, I used to lift weights. I was heavy into or got into lifting weights and doing that kind of exercise, and I enjoyed it. And I would do maybe about 30 minutes of cardio, and I would be lifting weights of maybe about, I would say, 4 times a week is what I was doing for about maybe half an hour, 45 minutes of weightlifting. And that was my type of exercise. Now, over the years, though, I stopped doing that because I just could never really get back into it. And then I got really sick. So I didn't stop lifting weights like just right before getting sick. This is when I used to exercise like that. That was in my 20s. I'm in my 40s, almost my late 40s. I'm going to be 50 soon in like a couple of years. Not that soon. I'm actually going to be turning 47 if you don't remember in my last video. Haven't turned it yet. It's not my birthday yet, but I will be turning 47 soon. So working out has to change. Like I had to learn to work out differently. I could no longer just push myself with weights and have that work out for me. And I'm going to take you down a little pathway of all the years that I've been healing and what things I have tried. And then at the end, I will share what I think or seems to be working for me. So when I got super sick, I couldn't do any exercises because my adrenal glands were not in good shape, and I'm still working on healing my adrenal glands. But what happens for me is they are not working properly, so the amount of adrenaline that is released isn't the right amount. Like it releases too much. And that when I have too much adrenaline in my body and my body has to filter it out, it creates an environment that is perfect for all of my symptoms to surface or increase, because it's a great environment for the viruses and pathogens. Now, what also happens is I get knocked down a couple of days after exerting myself because I have too much adrenaline in my body, and I actually need a couple of days to recover. So physical activity was something that was very difficult for me, because what would happen is if I did anything physical, it would take me a couple of days, like I said, to recover. And that includes any sort of exercise, no matter how little or big it was. So I could never really get back into weightlifting long enough where I would start to see results. What would happen is I would try to get back into weightlifting, and then I would get knocked down, and I would kind of regress in my healing. Like I wouldn't be moving forward. I would always constantly be dealing with symptoms, fatigue, brain fog, or some sort of symptom would surface again. So I would have to stop, and basically I would stop, and it would be for like a couple of weeks, and then I have to start all over again, and I kind of just like, that cycle wasn't really working. So I finally got well enough where I could start to do yoga, because yoga was something that I thought, oh, it was easy enough to do, but every time I would do something where I would have to go upside down or kind of change my position where my head goes down, all that going up and down was not good for my, it would make me lightheaded, and it would make me feel like I was seeing stars, and so that wasn't good for me. So I couldn't do yoga for a long time, and then about maybe that was about 2019, I started to finally be able to do yoga and not have those symptoms happen. So 2019, I believe that's 17, 18, 19. So that was about 3 years into my healing that I finally was able to try to do some yoga and take classes, and they were working. That was working, and I found yoga to be a good, like I would take 1 or 2 classes a week, and then I would just walk on the treadmill, maybe about half an hour to 45 minutes, 3 days out of the week. And I started to try to do weightlifting, but that's always seemed to like knock me down and make me feel faint and not feel good. So I didn't incorporate weightlifting too often. I was starting to be able to finally do it, but then the pandemic hit, so no gym time of that. And I was just doing rebounding. I believe I got a rebounder in 2018 or 2017. And even that, when I first started doing the exercise, it was only about 2 minutes, because the next day I would end up with a whole bunch of like symptoms. and it just was a lot for me. So it took me a while to build up to 20 minutes of rebounding. And I wasn't consistent with that, again, because I would end up with symptoms and then I would stop and it would be like, oh, I'm starting all over again. So I continued on with healing, and I just sort of gave up because I was getting really frustrated with the setbacks. And I didn't realize until I think it was 2021 or 2022 that I was like, okay, I'm going to try to start going back to the gym, and I'm much further along in my journey, and I'm going to try to push through. And I was able to start walking, and I was able to actually run for the first time, which was amazing. But then I got into weightlifting, and I tried to do that again, and that set me back. I tried several times, and it always set me back. And I didn't learn my lesson because I just thought, oh, I have to push through. I have to push through to be consistent with all of this stuff. But that wasn't the case. And the reason why is, fast forward to, this is 2024, right? At the beginning of this year, when I started to do the fat-free back in February, my whole thing was, okay, I need to commit to something that's not going to burn out my adrenal glands. I realized that every time I was lifting weights, it would be too much for my adrenal glands. I was not able to recover. It was causing more harm, and I just needed to look at working out differently. And so what I did was I just scaled it back. I scaled it back and I said, I am going to commit to just half an hour of walking. I'm going to see how that goes. And I had to build up. So the first time I did it, I could only do 4 days in a row, and then I had to stop and give myself a break. And then I did like 5 and 6 days in a row, and it was okay. And I was seeing that it wasn't hurting my adrenal glands. I was able to recover. There was no recovery time. There was no downtime that needed to happen. And I've been able to keep it up. And it's been, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So it's like 8 months now. And I've been still doing the walking. But now I do anywhere from my walk is about 45 minutes now. So 45 minutes every day, I'm able to do that. And I don't have a problem. And so talking about, because I know this was an interest to many of you, working out when you are trying to take care of your adrenal glands or you are trying to heal, you have to be very mindful of the amount of energy you're using and the amount of adrenaline that could be released because your adrenal glands are not well. And trying to push yourself to get back into that physical state can be more harmful and can give you more setbacks than be a positive thing. But I will say, if you are struggling with the same things that I am, I would probably not do any other exercise than just go for a walk in nature or rebounding. Either one of those are the best form of exercise to keep yourself going. I do feel that's the healthiest and the least sort of harm on your adrenal glands. And going forward, I want to start incorporating a little bit more resistance bands, maybe not weights quite yet, because I really don't want to cause any harm on my adrenal glands, and I don't want them to be under any stress. So I may start to be incorporating some resistant band workouts. Let me know if that's something that's interesting to you guys, because maybe we can work out together. I don't know. You guys are my friends and you literally are on a journey with me, so we can do this together. But that is something that I'm looking to do. I kind of wanted to see how my body goes with this whole fat-free and walking first. And I've given myself a good amount of time. I don't know when I'm going to start this part, but I'll be sure to let you guys know. And let me know in the comments if that is something that you are interested in. And also, I've been getting so many great comments about how this has been helping. And I want to know, are longer videos better? I've been kind of keeping it around the 10 to 15 minute talks, but do you want longer videos? I try to not make it too long and not go too deep into things, but maybe that is something you like. I'm not really sure. Let me know in the comments below. And also, let me know if there's any other topics. I do read all the comments, even though I haven't gotten to all of them. Sometimes I don't have time actually to respond, but I am reading them. And let me know if you have anything that you'd like me to discuss or talk about. I am having a lot of fun with this podcast. It makes me happy to see that people are benefiting from my journey and that we can do this together and we can move forward and in a healthy, lighthearted, fun way, and that all of our experiences, I feel like they should all be shared because I feel like we can learn from each other. That's how I learned. I learned from watching other people's experiences, and I'm just trying to do the same here for you guys. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.